what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so 50 Cent came out the side of his mouth on social media like he usually does, man. 50 doesn't hold his tongue. And whatever he feels like saying on Instagram, he's going to say it, man. And 95% of the time, or I should say 99% of the time, that mess is funny. Dude is hilarious on social media, man. 50 Cent really be putting people on blast. Lately, man, he allegedly even put the hit out on somebody. Not hit as in like somebody was killed or anything like that. But there was a story floating around that he had got some dude touched up, which doesn't seem too odd for 50 Cent. It seems like it goes with his character a lot. But, like I said, that was alleged. So I'm not saying that it really happened. Now, what did really happen is 50 Cent going in on Joe Biden's policies. Now, before we get into the specifics of all that, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And, man, let's get it. All right, so first and foremost, man, let me give a disclaimer. Because if there's one period in time that I really hate, is election time. I can't stand the commercials. I can't stand the oversaturation of commercials and advertising on YouTube, on social media. It is nerve-wracking, and I can't wait for this election season to be over with, and we can all just put this thing to bed. Now, with that being said, I don't have any political party affiliations or anything of that nature. I don't do politics like that, so this ain't got, my opinion has nothing to do with any of that. All right, now let's get into what 50 Cent said, man. I know that was a long disclaimer, but people be tripping out here, man. And 50 Cent, man, he basically took to Instagram and took a jab at a story that's been floating around, man, pretty much all day, man. People have been talking about Joe Biden's proposed tax plan for, those people who make a lot of bread, those people who make a lot of cake. Not me. I am not in this category. Never will be in this category probably. But dude, definitely put it out there. The story goes like this. Now, it's just a screenshot, but I've seen this news story earlier, and it looks like he grabbed this one from either CNBC or either grabbed it from MSNBC or whatever, man. One of them NBCs or something. One of them cable news shows. And it basically says this right here in this picture. It says top tax rates by state under Biden tax plan. And it has California, 62.6%, New Jersey, 60%, New York State, 58%, and New York City, 62%. The Tax Foundation Biden campaign. Now, it also says this is Biden's tax plan for high earners. So people who make like big time money. I'm talking about people who making like 300, 1,000 a year and up, stuff like that. You get what I'm saying. Wealthy people with bread. And man, that's a whole lot of bread, man. Especially when you consider New York City. Because even in the story, they talked about New York City. They have to pay their state tax, their city tax, and they're just flat out whatever taxes. I was like, what? And that's where they get that number 62% from. And I was like, dang, 62%? Even if you're making cake, that's, whew. You basically working for the tax man, you know what I'm saying? But man, if you guys notice, a lot of people are leaving these states anyways. Like a lot of people are leaving California. You can't go a couple of days without seeing a new big time YouTuber or a big time celebrity. Anybody just leaving California, man. That's the story that's running, man. Now, New Jersey, New York State, those are places that people are fleeing to because it's a high tax rate as well. And California has some other issues going on. Like right now, with everybody out of work, it was just a terrible combination and people literally are homeless like crazy out there. Now, 50 Cent, he poked at the fact that New York City tax is going to be 62%. And he obviously wasn't feeling it because he said this caption right here verbatim. Now, he said, what the F, vote for Trump, I'm out. Then he had a running man emoji. And he said, F New York, the Knicks never win anyway. I love it because the Knicks are horrible. All right. Then he had a hands up emoji. I don't care. Trump doesn't like black people. 62%. Are you out of your effing mind? And then steam coming out of the nose emoji. And a lot of people below, well, a couple of people I've seen, they said finally rich people get to be taxed. Because, man, the argument that was on a lot of the news shows today was that rich people have been skating on taxes for a while now. Now, I don't know if that's a fact. I am not rich. I've never had to pay rich people's taxes. I don't know what that feels like. If it's 62%, I really don't want to know what that feels like. Because imagine you getting $1 million. Now you're looking at 400,000. Oh no. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Shoot, you ain't even looking at 400,000. At the New York City tax rate, you're looking at 380,000. Then, man, that could be crazy, man. That's crazy. That's a lot, man. I see why people are leaving these cities in droves. I mean, it's really getting bad. I mean, Joe Rogan, he took off and now he lives in Austin, Texas, or something like that. And man, it's more folks to follow. Now, 50 Cent is getting a lot of backlash because of this. People are really mad because they know that 50 Cent makes a lot of money, and they figure, man, you need to be willing to put up that money, to better the community because you're making that money because of the community. Now, artists are here to entertain us. They get paid to entertain us. And right now, most of them are hurting, especially rappers. Rappers and singers, anybody who has to get on tour in order to make some money, they are hurting right now, man. So I know this isn't any good news for their end, man. They're probably thinking like, oh, man, now this. But most of them, I wonder how much of that money they get to write off and stuff like that for different expenses. Still, that's still a high tax rate. So, yeah, if I made a whole bunch of money, the last place I would live or one of those places like New York City, Los Angeles. It's just a bad look because there's other states where there's just no state tax, like Texas, like Florida, like Nevada. You see a lot of people from LA are moving to Vegas. It's an ongoing trend. So it's a weird situation. I know people are gonna eat 50 cents up and it's gonna look like he's dissing Joe Biden, but honestly, he's taking a look at his personal wealth, his personal finances, and making a judgment based off of that. Now, isn't it my understanding that's what you're supposed to do as an individual? Now, where he went wrong is where he blasted it out to the public. So I can agree with that to a point. Once you put your view out there and set your opinion out to your fans, it kind of leaves it open to scrutiny. So anybody has the ability to say, hey, man, dog, you're doing a little too much, 50. But to be honest, this could all be a joke. He's probably just joking because 50 Cent is known to clown on Instagram, man. He is known to clown on social media, and it wouldn't surprise me if he's joking about this whole thing. Even though people are going to be tearing him up, man, because, right now, things are real hot when it comes to politics. Ice Cube is getting tore up. Anybody who says anything about this election they're facing a lot of scrutiny. I'll say that. A lot of people have a lot to say if you're not voting with them. So it's easier to just keep your politics private, man. That's what I believe. I'll never get out here and tell you exactly what I'm going to vote because it mixes up every time. It changes. So I'll never be one of those people who's stuck on one party or one interest thing. I think that's the only way to be, man, because personally, you're going to be different than everybody else, and you just really got to take a long account of how you're going to handle things. Now, hopefully 50 Cent was joking about this because people are tearing him up, but I like to see where this ends up. What do you guys think, man? You guys think 50 Cent is tripping? He's out here dissing Joe Biden, and that is the next leader of this country, so he need to watch his mouth? Or is he right by putting this out there and just joking about his own personal financial situation? Now, with that, this has been your boy, Big Man. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. And make sure to hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this content. And we out of here. Peace.